The objective of this video is to explain why binary is the preferred method for modern computing. So we're going to be working on multiple levels here. If you get lost or you start to struggle, just take a deep breath and realize that I'm trying to teach Boolean logic more than trying to teach you how to do binary math, or teach you how to use a search engine using binary or Boolean tools. So as a quick refresher from yesterday, Boolean logic is based on true or false. In computer terms, this Boolean logic is based on ones and zeros. What we've not started is adding binary, so still sticking to the promise of no math yet. And in progress is just our knowledge of how Boolean works in this world. Completed, we know the definition of Boolean, and that's either true or false, on or off. So I thought this would be a really fun activity to review and start class off with. I want you to create a table in Canvas, a 3x2 table, and on one column I want you to write down things that are true about you. In the other column I want you to write down absolutely made up lies. Make it school appropriate and try to make the lie close enough to the truth where people don't know. And that's part of the game. So on one side of this table here are true things about me, and on the other side it's just things I made up. So for extra credit here, go ahead and take a guess as to which side. Is the right side the true, or is the left side the true? Alright, so to start, the minus symbol. The Boolean search operator not is equal to the minus symbol. So when you use this symbol, you are searching to find pages that have one word on them. But you need the search engine to exclude all the other words. You're telling the search engines that you would like to find pages that only have the word Superman, but excluding the listings that include information about Krypton. This is a fast and easy way to eliminate extra information and narrow your search down. Plus, you can do a string of excluded words like this: Superman minus Krypton minus Lex Luthor. So this will be a challenging think right share, but I want you to try your best. Why would you want to exclude information? Can you think of another scenario where you would search for something but you want to exclude something else that normally goes with it? So now let's talk about the plus sign. So when you type in something like football plus NFL, your search results would now have both these terms included. So using the plus and minus symbols is just a small part of a successful web search strategy. Let's say I'm looking for information about the NFL, but I don't want any of the drama that goes on in the NFL. I just want to search for things that are related to the football part, not the lawyers or the protests or anything else. Maybe I just want to find a website that would have good information about the football part of the NFL. Don't be timid about telling a search engine specifically what it is that you're looking for, and using different techniques in different ways to get better results. And don't worry about typing in several search ideas before settling on one. I do that all the time. Trying again. A lot of times as soon as you search for something, you can read the first 3 hits and realize that you need to research. So you got to research for something again. Not doing research, but maybe that's where the term came from. You search for something, then you search for it again, meaning you research. Get it? Extra credit if you laugh at my jokes. The think right share on this one though is, what does the plus sign do for your search? So wrapping it up here, the Boolean search operator near is equal to putting a search query in quotes. So you could do SpongeBob SquarePants in quotes, or you could just type the word near. What you're doing here is essentially telling the search engine that you want all of these words in this specific order or this specific phrase that you're looking for. This is great for quotes, by the way. And notice in this example, I put the period on the outside of the quotation marks. Usually when you're writing, you want punctuation inside. But because I'm giving you something specific to copy from, that's why the period's on the outside. And you're going to see that in a lot of programming languages as well. Just don't mix up programming languages with English language. In English language, this punctuation always needs to be on the inside of the quote. So if you didn't want to do the plus sign, you could always just type in and. So using and narrows the search by combining terms. So it will retrieve documents that use both the search terms you specify, as in this example, Portland and Oregon, or is a good tool to use when there are several common misspellings or synonyms of a word, as in the example liberal or Democrat. At this point, you might be asking, why binary? Why am I learning Boolean logic? Why am I studying binary in the first place in web design class? Well, it says it right here that computers use binary representation not for any theoretical reasons, but for reasons of reliability. As we will see shortly, computers store information using electronic devices, and the internal representation of information must be implemented in terms of electronic quantities, such as currents and voltage levels. So building a base 10 decimal computer requires finding a device with 10 distinct and stable energy states that can be used to represent the 10 unique digits 0 to 9. Okay, so for this example, assume there exists a device that can store electrical charges in the range of 0 to 45 volts. We could use it to build a decimal computer by letting certain voltage levels correspond to specific decimal digits, but that's not possible. So what is so much more possible is going with just two values, a 0 and a 1. So think, right, share, why are we talking about binary in these terms? And this guy does a great job at explaining what I just tried to, probably in a better way as well. So if you need a little help with this concept, you could just search on YouTube, why do computers use binary? Take a deep breath. Don't freak out if you're still not totally understanding where I'm coming from with this. But some takeaways from the video really helped me out. I'll just detail them here. The guy talks about vibration being sound. Wires could lose voltage the longer the wire is, so there will be systems in place for that. Each digit is unambiguous. That's a very important concept to think about when answering the question why binary is the preferred method for computing. It's unambiguous. It's either 0 or 1. There is no in between. And just binary is as low as base systems go. There is no lower number system than binary. So do you get this joke here? You have a little Mario ghost, and the first is Boo, and then the ghost leans, so he is Boo-lean. Okay, so in conclusion, this is how computers work, and this is how you can optimize your search results. Layers will mimic layers. Everything is built on top of the same logic, and that's the point about logic. It makes sense. So for your DOL here today, why is binary the obvious way to handle computing? That is, data transfers, that's what computing is. Why is binary the obvious way to handle computing and search engines? Binary as in 1 or 0, on or off, human or machine. That's what Boolean logic is, either or.